Hi, ladybugs. I'm so glad they're done with the roof for now. They do have to come back and do some more work when the rain stops, but it's been raining yesterday and today, so they can't do a whole lot more because I don't know if you guys know this. You probably do, but it's not a great idea to open up your roof when it's raining. So they're going to come back and do some work in a couple days. But here's little Oreo. You can see how little she is, and she is just the sweetest little love. She just wants to be held all the time and scratched and loved and petted, huh? Say I'm just a sweet girl. Look at that line down her face. It's almost exactly in half. What a sweetheart. Oh, a sweet baby. And Bingy went to the groomer today. If I can get him to lift his head, you guys will get to see him. Let me see. Come here, bud. Oh. Here's my groomed Bingy. No, 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 no. Here's my groomed Bingy, my little moose, huh? My little moose, leave his penis alone. Look at the Bingy. Huh, tell her, say, leave my pee-pee alone. Huh? Say, leave my pee-pee alone, huh? Yeah, there's Bingy. Doesn't he look handsome? He is such a handsome boy. He is such a handsome boy, huh? Yeah, I'm such a big old fat gut, huh? Say, I'm such a handsome boy, huh? I'm such a handsome boy. All right, let me put him down. There you go, Bing. Hi, Oreo. Oreo hasn't been around for any videos yet because since we got her, they've been working on the roof, so we haven't done videos, but we're gonna do video today, so she's gotta learn that during video time, she has to go lay down, huh? Yes, you do. She is a little bit needy, not that I mind, but she is always wants to be held, and with 9 dogs now, you know, I do have to kind of even that out a little bit, you know what I mean? So we're working on that. What size is this one? Because it's awful cute. Oh, that's only 6 months. That won't fit one of my toddlers. Today we are going to dress Julia, Jessica, and Jayla. Let's see, here's one outfit. And she did go and lay down when I started ignoring her, so that's good. She's learning to go lay down. She is such a sweet dog, though. Very, very, just very sweet, very loving. Just a really good girl. And I do really like her. I think she's very sweet. That is too small for them. I was going to use that one, but it's too small, huh? So anyway, how are you guys doing? I know it's been a couple of days, 3 to be exact. Well, this is the 3rd day, so I've missed you guys. I've missed making my videos, but there was so much noise going on, like all over above me, that it would have been really hard to do a video. Number 1, because of the noise itself, but number 2, because the dogs, you know, have been going crazy for days listening to the people on the roof. So that would have made it even more difficult, which is really why I didn't do videos. It wasn't really because of the roof noise. It was because of the dog's response to the roof noise, which has been insane. But I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad I'm doing more videos again. And I probably will have to take another day off later on when he comes back to do the roof, because again, it's the dog's response to the roof guys, not necessarily the roof guys themselves. But we'll see how that goes when we get there. I'm picking through this bag of clothes that I put aside to pick some outfits for the babas. Maybe those, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'd love to use this shirt. I haven't used it in a long time. I just love the little clovers. It's so cute. Anyway, so yeah. I'm glad that they're almost done with the roof. So what happened was, they were working on the roof and everything was fine. And then the rain started and all this water came pouring in. So it was really a challenge. And apparently they didn't like shore up or secure the areas around the vents on the roof. So the roof has been rotting away. And so basically what happened was it was leaking in around the vents, which is not good, but you know, we'll get it fixed. We really would be in a good position to just replace the whole roof, but we just don't have the money to do that. That's like $35,000, and we don't even have close to that. So yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. We really should replace the whole roof. That's why I keep trying to make some money on my YouTube, but I haven't even gotten close yet. But we really do need to replace the roof, but unfortunately, like I said, we just don't have the money to do it right now. So we're gonna have to deal with a patch job. The roof is actually held up. I mean, you know, we've lived here 10 years, and when we moved in, the house was a little over 20 years old. So it's lasted 30 years, which is better than most roofs do. But now we're definitely gonna need to replace the roof sometime soon. Like I said, unfortunately, we don't have the money right now to fix the roof. So we're just doing the best we can with a patch job until at some point in the future, we can come up with enough money to be able to like actually replace the whole roof, which, you know, I don't know when that's going to be, but it's the best we can do. Sometimes you just have to do the best you can, you know. It may not be everything, but sometimes you just have to do the best you can, and that's all you can do. I think this would be cute with that. Let's see. Yeah. It kind of stinks that everything is so expensive, because it makes it really hard to be able to do the stuff that you need to do, like for your house. But you know, there's nothing we can do about it. You know, we work hard and save as much money as we can, but you know, $35,000 is not something we have laying around. So I'm sure most of you don't have $35,000 laying around. It disgusts me that things are so expensive. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, people really need to fix their roofs, and they can't, you know, because they can't afford it. Kobe! And I think that's just sad. Kobe! No! You know, like people, especially people that work hard, you know, like Angie works really hard. You know, they should be able to afford the things in life that they need to do. You know, like you have to fix the roof on your house, otherwise it causes so much more damage. And unfortunately, we just don't have that ability right now. So we're doing a patch job. It's not going to hold forever, certainly. But it's the best we can do right now. So we'll just do what we can do and hope for the best, you know. Hopefully it'll last until we can come up with some money to fix the roof, like the whole roof. Because the whole roof needs to be replaced, but we just can't afford it right now. So we'll just do the best we can do. It's all we can do is the best we can do, right? All right, let's get going on dressing babies. I pulled out 3 outfits. So we're going to dress the girls, and we are going to start with Miss Jessica. Yeah, I wish that things weren't so expensive, you know what I mean? I think it's unfair, you know, to like homeowners and people in general, not just homeowners. I mean, rent is outrageously expensive right now. Like, people are spending more on rent now. And by the way, the first time in history this has ever happened. People are spending more on rent than people who own homes. People are spending, in some cases, double or triple what a mortgage would be. But they don't have the credit or the income to get a mortgage. So they end up caught in this. Instead of investing into their own futures, they're investing into someone else's future. And they can't really do anything about it, because they get caught in this cycle where they don't make enough money, and their credit isn't good enough to buy a home at a decent interest rate. And everything is based on making the rich richer and the poor poorer. And it's really sad. It's just really sad. Never before in American history has rent been more expensive than a mortgage. This is the first time. And it's so sad because, like I said, not only are people trapped in this rental cycle, but they're also they're investing into the apartment owner's future instead of investing into their own futures. It's not right. It's sad, and it leaves people feeling despondent. Like we're feeling pretty despondent about this roof right now, you know? And there's nothing we can do about it, you know? There's nothing we can do about the fact that we can't afford to get the roof repaired, you know? We'll patch it, and then another area will get damaged because a patch never works really well. And then we'll patch that area. You know what I mean? Like, it's just $35,000. Who has $35,000 sitting around, you know? It's just discouraging, you know? We know we have to get the roof fixed, but we can't afford it, so it leaves you feeling kind of despondent and discouraged. All right, chickie girl. And I think $35,000 estimate for the whole roof is conservative. It's on the conservative end. I think it would be closer to $40,000 or $45,000 to replace the whole roof. And we just can't do that. I was really hoping when I started my YouTube channel to make money on it so that we could afford things that were needed. I don't want to make money to go on vacations and buy diamonds. That's not what I'm about or who I am. And besides, I would never leave my dogs like that to go traveling the world. So that's not why I want to make money, but I do want to make some money to help my family out because there are things that we need to do for this house and for our lives that we can't afford to do. And that makes me sad, you know? Hold on one second. I don't know where my brush and comb went. Hang on one second. I have to go get another comb. Yeah. And, you know, being disabled and having all these dogs, I can't work. So it would be nice to make some money on the side and be able to help my family pay for things that we need to pay for. So if you could share this video with one person, just help me out, try to build up my subscriber count so I can at least make something off this. That would be great. Our house has already got damage from the state of the roof, and it would be wonderful if I could make some money to add to this roof fund. Because like I said, it's not going to be too much longer. We are actually going to have to replace this roof. We're not going to have a choice, and I don't know what we're going to do then. It's just so unfair to people who, you know, work hard and are honest, loving people, and, you know, there are things that they need to do for their lives, their children, their homes, and they can't do it, you know? It's just sucks so bad. And now, because of all the dishonest people and the scammers, you know, and the people who don't pay their bills, getting loans and things like that are really, really hard, you know? Because we even looked into that option, and we can't qualify for a loan right now to do the roof. So it just sucks. The whole situation sucks, you know? But it would be a great help if you could share this video with at least one person or tell somebody about my channel. Try to get the subscriber count up so that I can at least make something on this, you know, making videos every day. This takes up a lot of my time, and, you know, it'd be nice to make something from it. I mean, I don't want you guys to think that I do it because I want to make money on it. That's not why I do it. I mean, I've been doing it for a year without making a dime on it. But it would be nice to be able to make something and put it toward fixing this roof because, you know, that's going to be really expensive and we don't have the money. So, and somebody on Facebook said start a GoFundMe, but, you know, when Shiloh needed surgery back years ago, I started a GoFundMe, and like nobody donated. Like, you know, unless you're famous or you have someone famous endorsing your cause, nobody ever sees it and nobody ever donates. That's the reality of it. If you're a famous person or you have a famous cause and you put up a GoFundMe, then people will donate. But the reality is that unless you're famous, nobody will donate. I don't know. I'm just feeling discouraged right now. All this news about the roof has got me a little bit discouraged and feeling down, you know? I don't know how we're going to handle this roof situation. You know, it always seems like if it's not one thing, it's another. You know what I mean? First it was Evie and Joey, then, you know, now it's the roof. It just seems like it never ends, you know? The problems just never stop. If it's not one thing, it's another, you know? I am feeling a little despondent today, a little down, you know? I think Angie and I are both really stressed about how we're going to handle this roof situation, how we're going to ever be able to replace the roof, the whole roof, you know? Like we can't afford it and we can't get a loan, and they don't take payments, so... And, you know, we've borrowed money from family in the past, but nobody in our family has $35,000 laying around. So, you know, I don't know what we're going to do. I even listed a couple of my dolls for sale to try to make a little bit of money to put toward the roof, but so far nothing. And they're not dolls I want to sell. It's not like I've lost the bond or something like that. I'm trying to make a little bit of money. To put toward the roof, you know? All right, here's Miss Jessica. She's so pretty. Hi, aunties. Tell people about my channel so they can come see me. Oh, you're so sweet, Jess. You're so sweet. Such a sweet girl. I've been in a lot of pain the last couple days, and then on top of it with the roof, you know, it's just got me down. You guys know what that feels like. I'm sure you've all been in a situation like this, and and we've already got mold under the roof from the roof being bad anyway, you know, and now we can't replace it, so that's going to get worse. And, you know, I don't know what we're going to do. It's too bad I don't have life insurance, right? She has the prettiest hair. I love her hair. So pretty. I'm going to try to cheer up and just enjoy the video and not focus on anything else right now. Just focus on you guys and the video and the dolls. Anyway, there's Miss Jessica. I left her feet bare because I love the way they look in rompers with the bare feet sticking out, you know? I think it's so cute. Hi, Jessica. All right, let's put you down. All right, and we'll get Jayla. We'll get Miss Jayla, huh? Miss Jayla. So how are you guys doing, huh? You guys doing good, I hope? I hope everybody's doing good. And I think you're Jayla. Are you Jayla? You are Jayla. I thought so. See, I know my kids. So what do you guys have going on? Anything exciting? For those of you that have kids, they're all out of school now, right? What are you doing with them? What are you doing to occupy them? I know I always saw summer vacation as the end of mom's vacation, you know? Although honestly, if I had kids now, I wouldn't have them in public schools. If I couldn't afford private schools, I'd be homeschooling them. Or having them do online school. I wouldn't have my kids in public school these days. But that's just my opinion. And we're not going to get into a debate about the education system, but honestly, if my kids were still school age, they would not be in school. Not here anyway. And especially in Oregon. Terrible education system. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. There we go, baby. So, what have you guys been up to? Tell me the tea. What's the tea? What's going on? What is going on, ladybugs? If any of you guys had any picnics or gotten outside, done anything fun? I know today Katie is at the balloon festival. She goes every year. She loves the balloon festival. And she gets in for free and gets a ride bracelet for free because she helps set up and put away the hot air balloons. And they have to be there at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning on the first day, which is today. So she doesn't get a ride bracelet and stuff and food coupons for the whole weekend, but she gets it for today because she helps with the breakdown and the setup of the hot air balloons. So that's nice that she's figured that out. She's been doing that for years, though, like 3 or 4 years now. She's been doing the balloon festival, and she gets a free ride bracelet, and I think they give her like a couple of coupons to different food vendors. And she doesn't have to pay the entrance fee. That's what she gets for volunteering with the breakdown and the setup of the hot air balloons. So she goes really early. I drop her off, and then she spends the day there, and then I'll pick her up when she's done. Although it is right down the street. It's at the park that's right down the street from our house. So it is good that she gets that. She's found that loophole, you know, so we don't have to pay for that. And she gets to go to the balloon festival. So she spends, I think it's like 2 or 3 hours. It's like 2 hours setting up and 2 hours breaking, maybe not even 2 hours breaking down. I think it's an hour breaking down. So it's about 3 hours of the day. And then she gets to spend the whole rest of the day and the evening at the balloon festival for nothing, which is nice because she gets a full day's ride bracelet. So she gets to go on the rides. And she gets food coupons, so she gets to go to the food vendors and find food. And all the balloon things happen in the early morning. So like the balloons go up at they have to be there, I think at 5, and the balloons go up at like 7 usually, and they stay up till 9, and she can go do whatever during that 2 hours that the balloons are up. And then they call all the volunteers back, and they go back and help with the breakdown, and that takes like an hour. So, and then she gets, so by like, 10 o'clock, they're done. No, not even 10 o'clock. The balloons are up from 7 to like 8:30, and then at 8:30 she goes back, and it's an hour breaking down the balloons. So from 9:30 to the rest of the day until they close, and they close at like 11 at night. She gets to enjoy the festival and go on the rides and have food. And so, yeah, it's not like her whole day is taken up with the balloon stuff. She just gets to spend the whole rest of the day enjoying the festival. And I think that's a good work ethic for her, to learn that if you do the work, you get the reward. You know what I mean? Because that's a very foreign, abstract concept for a kid like her, with her limited intellectual functioning. Abstract comments are concepts are very difficult for her to understand. And working for something is a little bit abstract, and it can be hard for kids like her to understand. But she's learned that if she does the work, she'll get a reward. And so that's a good thing in the real world, because she's always had that at home, where she does work at home and we give her some kind of reward. But it's a good concept to learn out in the world, you know. So she works hard and she gets a reward for it. She gets to enjoy the balloon festival from like 9:30, and then she'll come home tonight at like, I usually pick her up around 10, and she'll literally pass out because she's been asleep. You know, she's been up all day and working hard. So I just think it's a really good, like, you know, lesson for her to understand that, you know, you do the work, you get the reward. I just think that's good. Yeah, so I think it comes out to about 2.5 hours of work. Is it 2.5 or 3.5? Because she gets there at 5, and she's done at 9:30, so that's 4 hours. But there's an hour, that's 4.5 hours. But there's an hour and a half when the balloons are in the air that she doesn't have to do anything, and she can go walk around the festival. So if you take an hour and a half off 4.5, it's 3 hours. So it's 3 hours of work, and then she gets like, what does it come out to? Like 16 hours of fun. So I think that's a good trade-off. And she really enjoys the balloon festival. And she actually enjoys setting up and breaking down the balloons, you know. It's something she'd never done before. She gets to see them go up in the air. She loves that. I know one year they gave her a free ride in the one of the guys gave her a free ride in the balloon, which I thought was really cool. She doesn't get that every year, but you know, if there's someone nice and she asks nicely, which she's always very polite and very respectful, you know, she'll ask, can you take me up in the balloon? And once in a while they'll do it. I know it wasn't last year, it was the year before that she went up in the balloon, and I think she was going to try to go up today, but I know she loves it. And so she gets extra benefits for being a volunteer, and I think that's super sweet of them. Here's Jayla. Jayla, little Jayla. Hi, Auntie. Do you like my polka dots? I love polka dots. Yes, they do like your polka dots, Jayla. They think you're so cute. Look at you. Such a cutie pie. I am so excited because I'm planning in the next couple of weeks to start putting some color on some of these babies. And I'm super excited about that because I think they're going to look so cute when they have color on them. There you go. There you go, Bubba. There we go. Isn't she pretty? All right, let's put Jayla down and get Miss Julia. Miss Julia, your hair is a mess, Chicky. Your hair is everywhere, girly. I don't know why her bangs are all over the place, but they are. See, my mood, every time I'm in kind of a despondent or depressed mood or a bad mood for whatever reason, just sitting here playing with the dolls, talking to you guys, always makes me happier. You know, I feel lighter. I feel more centered and grounded. I don't know why. Playing with the dolls and talking it out with you guys always helps. It doesn't change the situation, like I'm still in this really incredibly crappy situation, but it does make the mood a little better, you know? Just talking to you guys and playing with the dolls is always such a big help to me, and it makes me happy. So that's enough for me. With my subscribers, I go through these spurts. Like I'll get like 20 or 30 subscribers, and then for like 2 months, I won't get anything. And then I get another 20 or 30, you know, and then I get nothing for a while. So please share the video, or at least tell people about it so that I can try to get another spurt. I'm not even to 400 yet. I need to get to 1,000 to even monetize a tiny bit. So please help me out if you can. Somebody said I should put my Venmo and Cash App and stuff in the description of the video, but I'm not going to do that because I don't think that's right. Like, if you guys want to help me, you can share the video or you can tell someone about it. Commenting and liking it helps, but I'm not going to put, I'm not going to do that. No, Kobe, no. Kobe, no. So anyway, any engagement helps. Like the video, comment, share, subscribe, all that helps. Really, it does. I know it doesn't seem like it would, but it really does. I don't know what's going on with these bangs right here, but they're all over the place, huh, Chicky? Let's get your hair out of there. There we go. There we go, baby girl. Now let's comb her hair out, get it all. Because she has curly hair, it just goes everywhere if I don't comb it for a bit. So that's probably what happened. Angie's supposed to be home soon, so if the dogs start going crazy, I'll have to pause it because, you know, they do go crazy when someone walks in, even if it's someone they know. There we go. Let's just rip that elastic. There we go. Oh, where'd it go? I just had it. I lost it. There it is. And also, when I get to 1,000, don't forget, we're going to do a baby giveaway. So every time you help get yourself closer to that giveaway. There will be 2 prizes in that. When I hit 1,000, there's going to be a baby, and then there's going to be a box of clothes. So, and I told you, if you share my video on one of your socials and I can verify it, you'll get an extra drawing in that first giveaway. I'm keeping track. So there are already a few people who have extra entries into that first giveaway. So make sure you let me know in the comments if you share on your socials and I can go and verify it. Or you can message me on Facebook, because I do an extra entry into the very first giveaway when I hit 1,000 for every time you share it on your socials, or every time you, share it on your socials. Then you get an extra entry. So it's not just one. If you share it on TikTok, you get one. If you share it on Facebook, you get another. If you share it on Instagram, you get another. So it's not just like you can just get one entry. You know what I mean? You can get several. So just share it on your socials and I'll give you another entry. I'm keeping track in my phone. Every time someone tells me they shared it, I go and confirm that they shared it on their socials, and then I give them another entry. But you have to leave it up, because I had somebody who told me they shared it on their social, and then I went and looked and it was up there, and then when I went to look again, because I wanted to see if anybody had responded to it, they had deleted it. So like they only kept it up for like a few minutes. So that's not gonna work, okay? That's not, I don't think that's fair, okay? So you gotta, if you share it on your social, you have to keep it up, okay? You can't delete it like after 5 minutes. Yeah, this, I missed some hair, so I had to put in another elastic. Let me see, there we go, okay. And make sure you message me on Facebook, because I need to know what your socials are so I can verify that you did in fact share the channel. I'm not trying to be difficult, but, you know, I really am trying to make something out of this. And so if people are being dishonest about sharing it, that doesn't help me. You know what I mean? But you can share it on your Facebook and get an extra entry. You can share it on your Insta and get an extra entry. You can share it on TikTok and get another entry. Yeah. And if you get a subscriber who tells me that they got the channel from you, whoever, you know, like if one of your friends messages me or in the comments says, you know, I came to the channel because of this person, I'll give you another entry too. So if you tell people about it and somebody tells me that one of my subscribers turned them onto the channel, I'll give you an extra entry in the 1,000 giveaway, okay? And like I said, there will be 2 prizes. There'll be a gift box of clothes and stuff, and there'll be a baby. And it's going to be one of my babies, so. All right, there's Miss Julia. What do you think? Oh, it's so cute, Julia. Look at you. You're so pretty. All right, ladybugs, I'm going to let you go. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please pray for us to figure out a solution to this roof. And if you can, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And please share the channel with as many people as you can, because it really helps. And it's the only thing I have right now. So please do that for me if you could. I don't ask for a lot, but it would be awesome if you could help. I will talk to you later. I love you. Have a wonderful day, and God bless all of you. I will pray for you guys tonight. Bye.